Okay, I'm making this video um, for those of you who couldn't make it this morning. So this morning, what we did was looking at uh, a clever way to write a summary and conclusion. This is the outline of the lesson. Actually, we first of all we look at the definition, uh, what a summary is, and what a conclusion is. Then I will give you some examples. Then we will do some practice and the summary. First of all, you got to know that a summary and a conclusions are not the same thing. They are not totally different. This is the first definition. A summary, in short, is a shorter version of something like a text. It's like you have a big balloon and then you let the air out. Okay, and the balloon becomes smaller, and the smaller one is the summary of the bigger balloon. In a this is like comparisons. I hope you understand these comparisons. And the for a conclusion is nothing but a judgment of something like a text based on evidence and reasons. So in a conclusion, you make a rational judgment of something. You give your opinion about it. So you can see that the uh, a summary is a shorter version of something, whereas a conclusion is a judgment based on reasons and evidence. Now, let me give you an example. On the screen, you can see a summary. In summary, there are three reasons why everybody should visit Thailand. Its beauty, the food, and the people. You can see the summary. It is you restate the main concept or the key ideas, but you do it in a shorter version. Um, this is the conclusion. But for the conclusion here, you actually make a judgment. On the screen, you can see that based on the reason and evidence given, it can be concluded that social media has both advantages and disadvantages. And you can make a judgment by saying that the advantages outweigh its disadvantages. So here you can see that you're actually passing on your judgment. This morning we did a bit of practice. Okay, so in the practice you got to read the text and do two things. You write a summary and then you write a conclusion. So this is the text. Write a one sentence summary why I love Thailand. And you do the reading of the text and then you sum it up in one sentence. This is the Actually, this is the summary. You can see that a one sentence summary why I love Thailand. In sum, I love Thailand because of its food, the beauty, and the friendliness of the people. Uh, Now this is the conclusion. You got to do the same reading of the same text, and then you write a one sentence conclusion. This is the conclusion. You will probably write something like, based on the reasons given above, it can be concluded that Thailand is a wonderful country to live in and to visit. You can see here you pass on the judgment. Now, what I would like you to do is to write a one paragraph summary, and many students did just exactly that in the class this morning. So you sum it up not in one sentence but in one paragraph. So here this paragraph has exactly 9 sentences. I would like everybody to shorten it to as few as like 4 sentences, like you have the topic and the three main ideas. And you also Yeah, you can see here, this is the result of the summary. You can see the summary is a summary of one paragraph. There are three reasons why the Thailand. Firstly, Thai food. Secondly, reliability. And lastly, the friendliness of the Thai people. And at the end of the session, we also look into the combination of the summary and the conclusion. Usually, you start off with the summary first. The summary often precedes means come before, precedes the conclusion. So you can see here, this is the this the part for the summary, and then the conclusion. So just to sum up, we look at the definitions of a summary and a conclusion, and we, I make a point that the two terms, okay, a summary and a conclusion, are not exactly the same thing. And we look at the examples and we did a bit of practice. I hope you understand what's meant by a summary and a conclusion, and I hope to see you in class next week. Okay, see you.